jury is still out on the Griggs machine, and the debate rumbles on across the internet. But the idea of a challenge to physics coming from such a direction is one that is rejected by leading particle physicist Frank Close.
What would be revolutionary would be if you summed up all of the energy released and you found that the sum total was greater than you put in at the start. Then you'd be generating energy for free. And this would overthrow 300 years of experience, which has become embodied in what we call the principle of the conservation of energy. You can change energy from one form to another, but the sum total always balances.
Science guys don't like non-science guys inventing things. And it's discredited almost immediately. Whether you talk about the high priest in Egypt or you talk about the monks that had the monasteries in the Black Plague, they were the caretakers of knowledge. And I think the caretakers of knowledge look with disdain on commoners who think they have knowledge.
The fact is that Jim Griggs and his machine are by no means alone. Not only in America, but in both Russia and Japan, for example, there are reports of machines that seem to tap an unexplained source of energy. They don't all involve water, but they do all seem to produce more energy than they use. What's more, this is by no means a modern phenomenon. The debate goes back at least to the turn of the century. Today, Nikola Tesla is almost unknown, but 100 years ago he was regarded as one of the most prolific and inventive engineers the world has ever known. At a time when Edison was persuading great cities like New York and London to install costly and inefficient direct current generating stations, Tesla, backed only by Westinghouse and defying all critics, invented the system for the vastly more efficient alternating current, which now powers the entire modern world. With the famous Tesla coil, he was able to produce hitherto undreamed-of voltages. Tesla had a vision of what he called a universal energy field, which he believed would eventually be tapped. He wrote, "Throughout space there is energy. It is a mere question of time when men will succeed in attaching their machinery to the very wheelwork of nature." Unfortunately, his extreme love of showmanship, demonstrated in these photographs, didn't help his cause. But he persuaded the power company Westinghouse to build him a power station devoted entirely to his laboratory. Here he built the biggest coil he'd ever constructed and set to work to tap the universal energy field. He experimented with power levels and frequencies that had never been approached before. Several million volts, pulsing at 50